Hello and welcome to Wilson's Barbecue. In this video and this series of videos, I'm going to be going right back to basics and showing you how I like to work with my offset smoker. So offset smokers can be pretty hard to get used to, but once you master them, you can get what I think is the best possible barbecue. It beats any other type of smoker. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set yourself up for success on a nice long cook, and that means getting a good fire going and establishing a good coal bed. So I'm going to be using the Cactus Jack 16-inch Longhorn. It's about 7mm thick. It's really easy to cook on. It maintains a great heat, but these principles apply to whether you've got a Cactus Jack or you've got a thinner grade metal like an Oklahoma Joe, or even cheaper than that. So the principles still apply. So stick around and I'm going to show you how to build a really good fire to get yourself going in an offset smoker.
So the first thing you're going to need is a chimney starter. This is just a Weber one, you can use any. Some charcoal briquettes, something to get the fire going like fire lighters, a heat resistant glove, some form of lighter, and some well seasoned firewood. You can use any, but I'm using oak. Place the charcoal briquettes into the chimney. I don't like to pour them in, I put them in a few at a time because it allows for more airflow. When you pour them in, what tends to happen is they pile in too densely and you end up with thick smoke. Next, just place your fire lighters under the chimney and use your lighter or whatever it is that you're using to get them going. Place the chimney back over the fire lighters and just let the fire do its job. After about 20 minutes, when the coals look like this, really hot, starting to get white, or the majority of them are white, you should be ready to pour into the fire chamber of your offset cooker. I like to keep the coals near the entrance to the cook chamber, and I like to pile them up just to make sure that we get a real hot fire going. When they're piled on top of each other like this, you'll find that you'll get even more heat. Start to warm up your pieces of wood by putting them next to the coals in the firebox. This means that when you put them onto the coals, they'll light really quickly and you won't get any of that nasty puffy smoke. At this point, it's worth saying that I like to keep all the doors open. We're not trying to heat up the smoker at the moment. All we're trying to do is build a nice hot fire and establish that coal bed. So I'm not worried about keeping the heat in the actual smoker itself. All we want is plenty of airflow. After about 5 or 10 minutes, all you want to do is pop your piece of wood that's closest to the coals on top of the coals themselves. And you can see that there's not a huge amount of smoke coming off these. That's because the wood is nice and warm and you can see that it's caught quite quickly. And that's what we want. You might need to move the wood around to make sure that it's getting plenty of oxygen, but as soon as it does and as soon as there's plenty of flames, you won't get any of that horrible white smoke, and that's what we want, a hot coal bed that lights the wood very quickly and establishes a flame instantly. So about 10 to 15 minutes later, you can see that I've already added the second piece of wood. There's a nice oxygen rich fire going on, so not a load of smoke, but plenty of flames, and that's what we want, a nice clean fire. So we'll close the firebox door down and we'll close the main smoke chamber door, and we'll start to bring this up to temperature. And at this point, we're still only trying to establish a good coal bed. So once those two pieces of wood have burnt down, we'll break them down into coals, and that will start us off on our cooking journey. Preheat your wood by sticking it on top of the firebox. This will make sure that it ignites quickly when you put it on top of the coals. You'll know that the pieces of wood have done their job when you can easily break them down with a pair of tongs. What this does is replenishes the coal bed beneath them. So those original charcoal briquettes that we put down will eventually burn away. So what we're doing is making sure that we always have a coal bed, and that means breaking the wood down into coals as we go. What we'll do is put another piece of wood on top and keep that cycle going. So as you can see, we've got a nice coal bed going. Some of those briquettes are still in there, and you can see the burnt down oak on top. I've put a fresh piece of wood on and you can see that that's ignited nicely. It's up in flames, which is really good. That's what we want. Hot fire means a hot flame and little puffy white smoke. That's exactly what we don't want. So all you need to do to keep going with this throughout your long cook is keep replenishing the wood. When the temperature starts to dip, all you need to do is add another piece of wood and make sure that you're constantly replenishing that coal bed. I can't stress the importance of a good coal bed, and you need to make sure that you retain that throughout the entire cook. As soon as that diminishes, you're going to really struggle to get the cooker back up to temperature. So it's all about maintaining the coal bed.
So there we go, that's the first video in my series of back to basics for offset cookers. For a lot of people out there, a lot of that will have been obvious, or maybe you do it in a completely different way, and that's fine. This is just how I do it. There will be people out there who are buying offset cookers for the first time, and some of this stuff isn't particularly intuitive. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below, and I'll do my very best to answer all of them. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. There's going to be tons of videos coming out all around this subject. So this was just the first one and very, very basic. I'm going to be showing you how to manage temperatures over long periods, how to get clean smoke, the difference between different types of charcoal, types of wood. So please stick around, look out in the next couple of weeks for another video on a similar subject. And again, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a week or so for another video.